And welcome to the final game for Raven Block at Derpathon. This is PowerSlave Exhumed. Depending on what region you were in when this game originally came out in 1996, you either had PowerSlave or you had Exhumed. I believe it was Power Region that had Exhumed, but the remaster takes certain map designs from the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation 1, combine them together, as well as the name to avoid confusion. We get PowerSlave Exhumed. So, brief story is aliens invaded Egypt and they've taken Ramses' mummy and they're using him as a power source, like a basic battery. And we're gonna rescue him. So, we're gonna go new game, select our save slot, difficulty, timing begins in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Tomb of Ramses, very straightforward. Go grab our pistol, which is mainly just used for shooting a few containers at the start of the run, taking out some of these bugs. So I believe it was the PlayStation version had the scorpions, and then the Sega Saturn had the spiders, and so the remaster just has both of them, just for some variety. Alright, down we go, and we're going to talk to Ramses, but we're going to skip through the dialogue, so he's just going to stare awkwardly at us, blink a couple times, and that's it. And we're on to Karnak. So, interesting thing to note about this game is that it has a Metroidvania progression system. So this is going to be the first of 3 times that we come back to Karnak, or the first of 3 that we visit Karnak. Clearing out those faces so there's hopefully no bugs in the way. Grab our key. Symbols basically serve as keys. Use it on the corresponding door. I'm going to get our health upgrade. Very important for the run because we take a lot of self-damage on purpose, and you'll see why later. So movement's very basic at the start, but it really starts to ramp up as we collect more of the artifacts and weapons. That's why I still enjoy, aside from the RNG could be really awful because all those vases and stuff I'm shooting can have just completely randomized on what they drop. Sometimes they spawn more enemies. Sometimes they spawn health and ammo. Hang on, my phone is my VTuber model is freezing up because I've got to confirm something on my phone. So I'm gonna stare at it's my time to stare at you awkwardly. I'll take care of that in a second. I'm cosplaying as Ramses, yeah. Alright. Close that. I apologize for this. We are ahead of schedule, so like I could take a brief second to do this. Okay. Dodge the fireballs. Notice that even though this is an M60, I need to get that. Even though this is a light machine gun, it's has a 3-round burst for some reason. It's belt fed, as you can see, but it's 3-round burst. So here's our first artifact. This is the sandals, which allow us to jump a little bit higher.
You have found.
So we go back and talk to Ramses. Basically, just confirms everything I just said. And then we go back to Karnak, and this will allow us, with the sandals, this will allow us to get up to a higher elevation that we couldn't reach before. Which are these steps right here. Alright, so back past. So that beeping sound that you're hearing is letting you know that there is a piece, your part for the communication device that you need to collect in order to get the good ending. We don't get any of them. We're doing any percent, which has the bad ending. There are 3 categories for this. Low percent is where you do just enough to get the good ending. And then there's 100%, which you get all the communication parts as well as the dev dolls. There's like some dolls that represent the devs of the game. Right, so dodge some balls coming out there. I'm gonna pick up that health refill in a second. I just wanna hopefully grab this without. I triggered it anyway. That's fine. It just turns on the fire trap here. Hopefully that won't be too bad. All right, here comes the super jump. Didn't get it. It's very dependent on RNG. Okay, we're good now. So unfortunately, I took extra damage here. I'm gonna hopefully we get some RNG and get a health refill, because this is not enough for the next level. So the mask we just picked up allows us to breathe underwater for much longer, or hold our breath for much longer. And we're gonna go back to Karnak and now go the underwater path. There's another health upgrade, but where my health is at now, it's a bit concerning. I actually... Let's see. Please be nice, RNG. Nope, it's just ammo. And I'm taking even more damage. Alright. I should be fine. I'm just gonna pick up the health upgrade early. Normally we pick it up after we go through this one room, but I'm gonna get it early. I have enough ammo for the M60 to at least clear out the enemies. Dodge the piranhas, which, by the way, piranhas are not even native to Africa, so what are they doing here in Egypt? Maybe the aliens brought them? Who knows? Okay, we should be good now. Just a quick routing change. I'm gonna pick that up because I took a fireball. You'll notice that our hitbox is very wide. John PowerSlave is a thick boy, and the smallest thing can block our path. Like with these piranhas, for example. If they take a... Yeah, he did it. He totally did it. He cut me off. I was trying to avoid that by taking a certain line, but he intercepted me. Alright, now down into the mines. We're going to get our bomb, which is going to really start to break open the speedrun. So this is how we... boost around a bunch. Now I mentioned earlier super jumps, but I didn't really explain it. Super jumping involves holding down your jump key and using the boost we get from an explosion to make us jump even higher. Essentially, holding space stores our stores that boost into the jump. We use that a few times to sequence break in a couple of spots. There's our very first jump. I'm gonna wait for this to open just to refill my health. And now to Set Palace. So we cut this level very short by taking this path down here. We're gonna drop down and jump right over the laser trap right here. Just like that. Now for the first boss fight with Set. So the trick here is to lure him into one of the fire traps. We start shooting with our M60 and then lure him over here. Let him hit us a little bit, but he's taking a ton of... Okay, he started jumping. He didn't want to cooperate. Earlier when I was practicing, I killed him super quick, but he's not having any of it today. We're gonna have to finish him off with bombs. You don't want to be on the ground when he lands because it will stun you. Okay, now we have the shawl. The shawl allows us to slow fall. So now we're going to go back to the mines. And that'll, we can slow fall down to our next point of progression. This track, by the way, I find it very pleasant. I could put this on like a 8-hour loop and fall asleep to it. Very, very pleasant to the ears. This whole soundtrack, honestly, is pretty solid. Okay, open up this wall. I'm gonna get these refills here. And this is where we slow fall down into the Cavern of Peril. Right, dropping down here and grabbing our flamethrower. Very careful to avoid that poison swamp, because that does a ton of damage to us. But we'll get an artifact later that allows us to safely traverse it. Right, I'm just gonna grab that. And this is a tricky jump because we can easily bonk our heads, and I managed to get it first try. Right, slow fall down, grab our symbol. And we're going to do our first bomb-assisted super jump on this level. Right in here, I'm going to jump, hold space. Once it passes the light texture, I'm going to throw the bomb down, and there it goes. It applies the extra boost from the explosion. We can go all the way up there. Well of Souls. These next two levels are probably the most difficult in the speedrun, I'd say. Health refilled there. Very carefully drop down here. You can take full fall damage if you land on the wasp. It'll hurt you, but it'll do nothing to the wasp. I always like to take this side up first. I find it a little bit easier. I didn't kill the mummy. Alright. Bomb jump up. Then we're gonna go to the other side. Trying to kill everything I can along the way. I'm getting blocked. Like I tried to jump and I just got hard blocked. This is really bad. This is really bad. Alright. Over to our M60. I'm taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Like I had mentioned earlier with our wide hitbox, even those tiny wasps, they can get in our way and like completely throw off your jump. I'm just trying to pick up some extra health wherever I can from the containers, but their RNG is not playing nice. I may have to restart checkpoints. Yeah, it's not... Okay, there's something at least. Keep going. Like I said, these next couple of levels are the hardest in the whole speedrun. But once we get through them, it gets much easier. We just gotta hope RNG plays nice. And it'll spawn health for us, maybe? I got nothing. Right, waiting for this to clear the path. Anything? Nope. Again, no health. We get a health refill anyway coming up fairly soon, so it's a bit sketchy right now, but fairly soon it'll be alright. Unfortunate. Alright, I got knocked down, but that's fine. Okay, now I can get a heal. I got no boost out of the water, that's it. Alright, fine. Set those off just for to clear the path for later. Wait for the fireballs and then drop down. Spawn wasp, see? This is what I'm talking about with the RNG. Those containers can spawn extra enemies and you have to deal with them. Alright, super jump incoming. Activate that first switch, wait for the fireballs. Dodge these two Anubis. Okay, good. The path is clear. They're infighting. Okay, that's good for us. They were distracted. Okay, I'm just gonna pick up a health refill and then we'll be good to exit now. Oh, I forgot to open it up early. Alright, Thoth Treasure Reliquary. That's such a difficult series of words to say. This level introduces the Bastet, which is the named after the Egyptian cat goddess. And I always compare her to like chain gunners from Doom 2, except in melee range. They like to use you as their personal scratching post and just rip you to shreds. They're extremely, extremely dangerous. To make matters worse, they like to teleport around. Get hit with all kinds of stuff here. Come on. There we go. Squeeze by that. And there is our anklets. This allows us to progress through Poison Swamp and lava. We'll still take damage, but not nearly as much. Lava is pretty much instant death without them. This is bad. It's incredibly bad. I don't like this at all. Game's being mean. See? Beware, anyone who wants to run this, you gotta deal with this game's RNG. It is not nice. Okay. Now, instead of going to Canyons of Chaos, we're gonna instead go back to Karnak Sanctuary. Now that we have the anklets, we can go progress to the swamp area. Yeah, this game is very fun to speedrun, but the price of admission is dealing with its RNG. Grab that very important health refill. Now on to Hecate Marsh. And this level, very early on when we were routing, I was doing this level first before getting the anklets. It was miserable. Okay, I'm not getting the height I need because... There we go. Okay. And the snake jump scares us because I was holding down the mouse 1 button the whole time to throw bombs. Because normally it's supposed to auto switch, but if you're holding down the fire button, it will skip that. And I bonked my head. This wasp being a jerk. It's not letting me out of the water. Okay. Thank you, game. Took a fireball. Okay. Deep breaths. We'll get through this one. Palace of Num, or however you say this. It's a water level. No one likes water levels. Well, most people, anyway. Thankfully, we super jump out of the water and skip about 75% of this. I am getting blocked right at the start of it. Okay, reload checkpoint. I couldn't even go down into the water because the piranha instantly blocked. And he started nibbling away and took out a big chunk of my health. Any health spawns for me? No? Constantly battling with RNG, man. I'd be surprised if I get through this one. My practice streams, this went pretty smoothly, but this one is like... barely getting by. This is a difficult speedrun. Very fun, but it's very difficult. Okay, I'm very dependent on some health drops here, otherwise I'm not going to survive the very first bomb jump, so please play nice. There we go, that's good. Hopefully that's enough. I gotta start the map over because I won't survive a second one. That was my one shot. I didn't make the jump. There we go. Damn it. This phone again is... My phone is pause tracking again, so sorry about that. I'm going to stare awkwardly for a second here. Okay, Selkie's Path. This level's more annoying than it is difficult. You have a bunch of bastats to deal with. See, she just, that's one of the things they do. They teleport away like that. Got through there. Taking out as many things as I could. Dodging the fire traps. Usually that guy blows himself up early, but he was goofing around. Had to do it ourselves. Slow fall down. Am I? Oh, the door shut behind me. Then I was blocked by another one behind me. That would have been incredibly unfortunate. That one's stuck in that torch there, so we don't have to worry about her. Thankfully, we get a health refill right there. If I do my lines correctly, I'll be able to slow fall all the way down to the exit. There we go. Now for the second boss with Selkis. Or Selkies, I don't know how her name's pronounced. Now with this fight, we want to lure her out as we make our way back to the entrance. She doesn't always cooperate. Weapon boost is nice. Very useful for a boss fight. As you can see, it ramps up your weapon's fire rate. Yo, some really good RNG after the way the game's been treating me. It's feeling sorry for me. Giving us a break. We'll take it. Okay. So now we have the scepter, and we can go back to go through some of those green force fields. Yeah, the weapon boosts, like I just got for that boss fight, those are pretty rare to drop, and that's incredibly helpful. Very fortunate we get it for a boss fight of all things. Like you hardly see that. Okay, magma fields. This is going to introduce the Mag Mantis, which is on the cover of the game. Think of it like a cyber demon from Doom, except stationary. Just like essentially a turret that shoots it pops out of the lava and shoots at you. None of them showed up. We're gonna get the one in here. There he is. Very dangerous enemy. Alright, this is gonna look awful on stream. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just the fast-moving textures. It's a bitrate destroyer, so just bear with me while I get through here. And we're through. Now to my favorite level, because this has so many bomb jumps back to back. But first we gotta deal with this room. There's 3 Mag Mantis in here. There's one. Okay. Think we're good now? There we go. Okay. I have definitely seen some really awful RNG for that room, but that wasn't too bad. Oh, the wasp blocked me. I would have made that bomb jump, but the wasp bumped into me. And there we go. That's the best level down right there. We get the Horus Feather, which allows us now to just fly. Don't need the shawl anymore. We can just float across like that.
The gods are...
So yeah, basically he's telling us the gods are pleased, and the entire time we've really just been upgrading our drip. You know, we got the sandals, we got the shawl, we got the mask, and then the feather. Come on, dude. Freaking birds. That whole bird was keeping me from dropping down to the bottom there. Okay, this is really good height. I should be able to clear this. No, I'm gonna need an extra boost. Okay, we got plenty of health in reserve. Hopefully they don't set off the explosives here. I'm gonna shoot it behind me to take it out now. Okay, health is still good. I'm gonna get a refill though before we exit. somehow managed to dodge all those birds. Okay, Kilmat Colony. This is the first of the alien levels, which we'll get introduced to them very soon. Fortunately, speedrun strats exist for this map because if you play it casually, you got to solve one of the worst puzzles, and this is not hyperbole. It's one of the stupidest puzzles I've ever seen in a video game. It involves like going a certain path around a pyramid, and then there's like dodging some lasers. It's so dumb, but thankfully we skip all of it. Just clearing out the wasps. As soon as I grab a key, those fire traps are going to turn on. Just being extra careful before I go through there. Okay. Plenty of health in reserve. We'll be fine here. And now to the final level. I'm going to face off against the Kilmat Queen. But first we gotta hand over all of the artifacts that we've spent all game collecting. And just like that, all of our power's gone. So we gotta fight her. It's just an ordinary human. So we're gonna open up with the Cobra Staff, which has well, you saw the Selkas fight, it has homing capability. And then we're gonna switch to our Jazz Hands. Clear out all these Langoliers, and she's going to transition to whatever that is, the snake form. Okay. Then you just finish off the last of the segments by throwing the bomb. You want to aim for the tail, not the head. Keeps jumping with it. Okay, there we go. And one final bomb jump here. Or super jump, rather. And we're going to go rescue Ramsey's mummy and then put it back where it belongs so we can rest. And that'll be... Time ends right there on final input. So a 32:28, that's pretty good. Considering the awful RNG.
Finally, my soul will rest, and I can return to the...
So, basically, he tells us he has a place for you in the afterlife, but unfortunately we didn't collect all the parts to contact our team, so they don't find out that we're missing, and then, like, I don't know, 1,000 years later, aliens come back and wipe out humanity. So that's the worst ending, but it's the fastest way to beat the game. But yeah. That is it for me. Thank you, Mod, and everyone else hosting to have me on the show to show off these games. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm Vicketh Ravenfell. And I do speedruns. I'm most known for the Turok series. I used to be the world record holder for Turok 2. Other than that, I do a lot of FPS games and retro achievements. Yeah, come check me out. That's all I got for now. Good luck to all the rest of the runners for the marathon.